to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Adam here, and if you're listening to this, it might be because you have either a compulsion or you impulse eat. And this particular session is really designed to help with two key things. One, releasing the emotions that might be linked to impulsive eating. And secondly, to introduce friction and behavioral techniques that can actually make that compulsive eating less impactful. This is mainly about weight loss and certain kind of processed foods or hyper-processed foods, which can be very addictive, but it also has links to other compulsions that the client that I was working with had. They would occasionally compulsively pick at their skin or do compulsive shopping. And that's why there is time friction introduced as a key suggestion in this hypnosis session that becomes very helpful, very useful for people that can relate to that. So if you can relate to the idea of eating certain foods, not because you even like them, but it just feels like an impulse or a compulsion that you have to, you should get some value from this session. The session itself was created for an individual that had recently gone through a bereavement of a close family member, which is why there is the release of a particular emotion there at the beginning. That might not be relevant for you, and some of the compulsions that this client had might not relate to you either. So ignore any suggestions that aren't quite right, hone into the ones that are. And if you like the idea of working with me directly, so we can actually do a session specific to you, there will be a link in the description where you can schedule a completely free consultation call over Zoom. We'll have a chat, and who knows, I might end up working with you directly. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a quiet feeling of calm confidence. And as you exhale, feel that wonderful feeling of release. Any tension around your eyelids, your jaw, your neck or shoulders, just allow that feeling of tension to leave your body. On the next inward breath, breathe in just a little bit deeper than the last. And as you exhale, allow the breath to keep on going outwards, long after you'd normally finish. Activating that diaphragm so you breathe in deeper and exhale for longer. Each breath takes you deeper and deeper relaxed. And I want you to feel that you're about to be transported. I want you to imagine a bridge high above a valley. And at the bottom of the valley is a winding river. And imagine being right in the central part of that bridge and looking down, seeing the valley, the ravine, the river beneath, maybe far down. And I know you've been holding on to things for longer than you've needed. For some people, it's shame or blame, guilt or tiredness. For others, it's sadness or grief. But I want you to feel there on the bridge, this is the place to release. Because sometimes certain compulsions, certain habits are not the problem but the symptom. A symptom of a suppressed emotion that comes out in strange or unusual ways. But if we release the emotion that's suppressed, those compulsions, those habits can disappear quickly. Because why do you need a coping strategy if you don't need to cope? In the same way that if you needed to open the window of a room because the room is so hot, but then the room is no longer so hot, there is no need to open the window. And I want you to imagine seeing a trapdoor there at the top of that bridge, and you can look down from the safety of the bridge through that trapdoor, seeing all of the distance down to that valley and river below. And I want you to scan your body for any emotions that have been suppressed. It doesn't matter what they are. It could be a regret, it could be some sadness, frustration, even anger or hate. But I want you to grip your right hand into a clenched fist. And I want you to imagine that your body is taking any emotion that is suppressed from wherever it may be lurking in your body and transferring it into your clenched fist. Scan your body for any sadness. Move it into that hand. Scan your body for any anger and move it into that hand. And I want you to imagine a rock forming inside your clenched fist. A rock of emotion. Look for any regrets, even embarrassment, any judgment, any pain. Move it from you into that hand. Clench it. Feel the rock forming. Feel it growing, like you're distilling the emotions there into the rock in that hand. Any blame, any shame, move it from you into the hand. That's it. And as you do it, feel the weight of that rock, maybe even the size of a pebble in that hand, and then search for anything else, any echoes of emotions, suppressed, bottled up, hidden deep within, and just allow it to transfer from that location through your body, down your arm, into that hand. And then imagine opening the palm of your hand and seeing the shape, weight, and size of that rock. And if you could imagine that rock of emotion there in the palm of your hand, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. and you retain all of the wisdom, all of the insight, all of the learning, but no longer the emotions. And then imagine throwing it down the trapdoor, seeing it hurtling all the way down, and notice how much lighter you feel. Because these emotions have been carrying a weight, and now you've released the weight. Don't be surprised if your body recalibrates, because emotions are heavier than materials. All of those emotions in that rock might be 5, 10, 15, 20 kilograms worth of physical weight there in all of that emotion. And now you've let that go. Your brain, your body, your unconscious can start to recalibrate. Disempowering emotions need to be fed with disempowering foods. But now you've released those disempowering emotions. Don't be surprised if you crave real, natural foods. The kind of foods powered by sunshine and rainwater. I want you to imagine what it would be like to crave real vegetables, real fruits, real meats, real fish or real eggs, knowing that there are infinite ways that you're able to prepare them. Even just 3 or 4 different ingredients can make over 100 combinations of meals. And I want you to remind yourself of just how much you like real food. I want you to get a feeling that processed foods act more like a drug to the body than a food. The feeling of pleasure that comes at a price. But I want you to imagine what it would be like to crave something real. Real fruit, real vegetables, real food. And I want you to imagine that any digestive problems wasn't the problem, but the symptom. The canary in the coal mine. What if things that happen in the gut are a side effect of the food that you put in your mouth? And when the food that you chew changes, don't be surprised if your whole body reacts differently. I want you to get a feeling that compulsions can come and compulsions can grow into evolutions that enable you to realize that compulsions weren't that compulsive all along. I want you to get a feeling that when it comes to food, what if you have an agreement with yourself that with processed foods, you have to wait an hour to see if you still want them? Imagine setting a timer, maybe a glass sand timer, maybe an alarm on your phone, and just imagine that after an hour, 9 times out of 10, the desire to have that same food isn't there anymore. You are an hour away from being free of food compulsions but you are seconds away from any compulsion to pick at your skin. When there's an itch or a desire to scratch or pick, that lasts seconds. So just imagine wiggling your fingers or clicking your fingers before any urge turns into reality, and realize that that's all it takes for that fleeting feeling to pass. Seconds with your skin, an hour with food, and imagine with shopping. You give yourself a one-day rule that if it's something that feels like an impulse or compulsive buy, you come back the next day and see if you still want it. And if you do, you buy it. And if you don't, you don't. And I want you to feel that by introducing time and friction, don't be surprised if more than 90% of impulsive and compulsive behaviors disappear rapidly. Because if the feeling goes away, why do you need to do the thing? I want you to imagine now seeing a large screen from that bridge over the valley, showing your future. And I want you to see a future where more than 80% of what you eat is natural foods, living by a helpful code, not a rule but a standard, and that is natural foods first, processed foods after, and ultra-high processed foods rarely. And I want you to imagine that the first few days are the hardest, as you're teaching your body what to like, what to want, and what to crave. But notice that even after a few days, it gets easier. After a week, see yourself with more clarity, more energy. The hardest week is the first week. The second week is easier because you've already built momentum. And I want you to imagine in this future, it isn't just that it's natural foods first, processed foods after, but also see in this future that anything impulsive, you delay. Almost like if there was a nagging child throwing a tantrum and got whatever it wanted after the tantrum, you would know that you would expect more tantrums. These impulsive thoughts, whenever you reward them, ensure you get more impulsive thoughts. So you delay the impulsive thoughts, but mindful, conscious decisions that empower you, you reward that with instant action. And I want you to see how the weeks turn into months and the months turn into a year of natural foods first, processed foods after, more natural vegetables, fruits, real meats, fish, and egg. And just see how your body changes, how your confidence increases. But I want you to see in that future, because the impulse is gone, you don't need to avoid certain foods. You simply don't want them. In that future, you can see perhaps certain types of food there, available, and see yourself absolutely ambivalent to it, like it doesn't exist. because you simply don't want it. And if you could imagine that future, let me know by nodding your head. And then imagine floating into the future and feeling what it would feel like 1 year from now. Looking at yourself in a full-length mirror, seeing how your body shape has changed. Your eyes seem brighter, skin fresher, glowing, smiling more, wearing clothes that you like. And I want you to feel that there is no desire to have ultra-high processed foods, but also knowing that if you do have them, maybe on a special occasion, in the time that follows, you will prioritize natural foods much more, so that you're training your body and your brain to like real food with real nutrients, giving you real energy. And then imagine drifting back there to the bridge. And then imagine from the bridge drifting back to your reality. Feeling that you're simply days away from a healthier stomach, healthier gut. In technology, they say, garbage in, garbage out when writing code. I want you to feel that the more natural foods you eat, the more natural your health, energy, and vitality, and the more natural your digestive system feels. It's time to return to the present now, so take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect and calibrate into the here and the now as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.